Welcome back to part 2 of our Ex01 SaveSable River, and we're making a little spreadsheet here, and now we're going to make some charts, and we're using Google Sheets, and it's the first time I'm using Google Sheets. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit over here, and maybe I'll go to like 90% because we're going to make some charts, and we're just going to put them right here in our spreadsheet. And they'll be maybe half the width of this. We can resize our charts, and they're not going to be anything real special, but we'll try to add a little bit of formatting to them. And again, I haven't done this before, so I'm not very good at it. I just kind of messed around with it one time. Now, we're going to make two charts. One is going to be the cities. It's going to be a chart of the cities and the totals. So we only need that data. So we only need these 6 cities, and we only need these 6 totals at the bottom. So that's all we're going to highlight. We don't need anything else. Sometimes students have a problem selecting these cells, but you got to be very careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight Allentown through Town of Cary. I'm just going to highlight those cells. You're going to drag across. So I'm going to drag across, and if you go up, just come back down and just highlight those. It's kind of hard to see if they're highlighted, but I can see things are a little grayed out. And they're highlighted right now. And then I'm going to hold my Command key because I'm on a Mac, but if you're on Windows or even a Chromebook, hold your Control key and then highlight these down here, and I could see they're getting little blue outlines, which is harder to see, and I'm just going right there. So I'm actually selecting 12 cells, 6 on the top, and then leave go of your mouse first, and then leave go of your Control or Command key, so that you have 6 cells and these 6 cells selected. So 2 groupings of 6 cells. Now, as long as they're selected, you can make a chart. And if you screw this up, you could just redo it, so don't worry about it. Now, in Google Sheets, there's a little icon here for Insert Chart. So I'm going to try that out. And you'll know right away if it worked because you'll get money over here and you'll have the cities down at the bottom because that's exactly what you want. I'll hit Got It here. And the chart's almost done already, so that wasn't that hard as long as you selected the right cells. And it has this chart editor. Now, if this goes away for whatever reason, if you hover over this thing, they should have a little thing to edit chart. So let me click on the chart here. And you can see they have these little dots here. So if that goes away, if you don't see any editing over here, just go to Edit Chart. And they have Setup. And then these are the different kinds of charts. Now we're going to use a column chart right now. So we're just going to stick with that. So that's fine. We could use the column chart. And then we're going to go to Customize. And they have Chart Style. Now the only thing I'm going to do here is just change the background color. And I'm going to use my custom, that really light blue that I made. I'll use that for background color because that looks nice. And then I'm going to click on 3D because that looks nice. And then I could even use a border color. I'll use a dark blue here. That's the one I was using before. And I don't think you can change the thickness of the border, so I'll leave that alone. So that's all I'm doing from Chart Style. So Chart Style did the background color. I made it 3D and I put a border on it. I'll close that up. And now they have chart and axis titles. Now they actually have a chart title called Total. Now I'm going to make this one Total Fundraising by City. So I'm typing that in here, and I want to make sure I type it correctly. Total Fundraising by City. And I could change the alignment of the font. I can make it centered. I'll use Georgia, and I'll make it a little bit bigger. So maybe I'll make it 24. And I can make it like a dark blue. It's just using auto right now, so I'll make it a dark blue. And I can make it bold. So that looks pretty good. And other things I could put on here, I'll click off of this. I can put axis titles. Actually, there's one right there called Total. Now, that's not really that necessary because now what are axis titles? Well, this might say Total over here, and you might have like cities down here. But if you know these are cities, it's really not that necessary. Like I said, you could go down here and say, okay, I want a horizontal axis title, and I want it to say cities. And I could do that, and there it is. But does that really help? I don't know. It might in some cases, but in this case it doesn't. So I'm just going to take that away. And then if you click over here, right on Total, if you don't need that there, you can get rid of this too. And then I don't need those axis titles, but they're axis titles. One thing I do like are data labels, which go on top of here, which they can show you the actual value because it's hard to read these things across. Now, where are they at? They're actually under Series. If you go to Series and you scroll down, they have a thing in there called data labels. If you click on data labels, they could go on the top. Now, they don't give a lot of flexibility as far as moving them up and down, because in Excel you can drag these up and down. Here you can't do a whole lot with them. But what I can do here is I can, make it bold. I can make them a little bigger. I'm not sure of the font size, what it is. I'll make, that's too big probably. I'll make it like 14. That looks okay. And I think you could change the color and stuff like that if you wanted to. If for whatever reason, if you want them to really stand out, like a dark orange or something, that might stand out as a warm color on the cool background. So those are the data labels that we have on there. And you could put them in the middle. If you had a pie chart, you would have these in the middle, but that looks okay. And that's all I'm going to do with that. That's all you have to do for that. So I'm just going to resize that a little bit. And then if you grab by the edge, you can move it around. And that's one of them. And I'll even make it a little bit smaller. And you can see those numbers have a hard time. So I'm actually going to go and make them even a little smaller. So that's one of mine. And actually, this is just practice to do it again. If you wanted to make another chart of different data, because that was the cities and the totals. Let's say you wanted to get the totals based on the type of fundraising. So you wanted to see if the phone-a-thon raised a lot of money. I'm sure phone-a-thons raise a lot of money. But I'm going to highlight these 5 things over here. So I'm going to highlight through them. Now I know it's hard to see me highlighting them, but I'm starting at A4 and I'm going through A8. So I'm highlighting those 5 cells, and then I'm going to hold my Control key if I'm on a Chromebook or Windows, and my Command key on a Mac, and then I'm going to highlight these 5 cells here. And like I said, if you mess it up, you can do it again, but I have these 5 cells and these 5 cells, and then I'm going to insert my chart. Now, where'd my chart go? Well, it's over here now, and there's my insert chart. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I think there's a way you can kind of make a theme so that you can copy the same things, but I don't know how to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is just go back and do what I did before. I'm going to go to Customize and go to Chart Style. Background color, use that same light blue. And border color, I'm going to use that dark blue. And that's all I need to do there. And I could choose 3D again. So that wasn't that hard to do. And then I'm going to put in my title. So this is vertical axis title. I'm going to use chart title, and I'm going to put in a chart title, and I'm going to say fundraising by activity, and I'll make it Georgia bold. I'll choose Georgia again if it doesn't show up, but now it's showing up now, and I'll make the color that dark blue, and I'll make the size a little bit bigger. I think I made it 24, and I could center it if I want. Now it's centered in there. And the only thing I would need, now again, if you put axis titles, you could put activities down here, but I don't, fundraising activities. But this is money, so I'm not sure if you really need those. But I am going to put data labels in, and if you remember, that's under series. They have a little check for data labels, and I'm just going to make them bold and a little bit bigger. I think I made them like 12 point or something, and I'll leave them 12 because I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'll just scale this thing down. And you can see when you put a font size in there, it stays. So you got to be careful doing that if you're going to be resizing this. So I'm going to move this over here, close up my chart editor, and that's what I want. Now you can go in here and change some things. You could double click in here and click on some things. So if you decided you want your heading to be red or something, if you click on here, you could go up here and make this thing red if you want. And go here, double click on there. On the box itself, I could go through and make this red if I want. Now you could leave them blue. I just wanted to show you could change that. Now, and all these things, I think you could change the box type and all that kind of stuff. If you wanted to make the boxes red or something like that, you could do that. I'll put it back, whatever it was. I'm not sure what it was. Something like that. Again, I'm not that concerned about what color you make it, but knowing that you can change those colors. And remember, these things you can copy into Word documents and PowerPoints and that kind of thing. That's the whole idea, is to take something which is a little harder to read and give something visual from it. So these are our charts, and they weren't that hard to make, so we made 2 of them. Fundraising by activity, total fundraising by city, and the hardest part here is making sure that you highlight only the cells that you want data. And when we highlight these cells, all we're doing is creating the titles that kind of go down here. Just like over here, we highlighted corporate through phone-a-thon. They show up down here, and the money, these values, show up in these charts here, in these kind of columns with the totals. So we get a visual representation of them in a column. You could do a pie chart as well, but that's using a column chart, and those are creating two charts, and it's not a whole lot different than Microsoft Excel. You have certainly more options in Excel when you do that. It's, you know, it's a full featured program, but we were able to do some things here in Google Sheets, at least for this first exercise, and my first time using Google Sheets, and it wasn't too bad. I don't think that went too bad without a lot of practice. So when you're done with this, it's already auto-saved. You can share this, and once you share this, you can get a shareable link and copy the link. And then what you're going to do, now I don't have this set up yet, but what you're going to do when you go into your coursework, and I'm not sure if I have a coursework set up, so I'll probably just use another assignment. I'll go into coursework here, and I don't know I don't think I have any of these set up for Excel yet because I don't have them open. But just for example, if I went into Flyer, if I went into, I already did this one, but if I went into Flyer here, if you added comment, what you're going to do is you're going to add comment. Now you're not going to do it in Flyer, you're going to do it in Ex01, but you're going to add a comment, and then you're going to insert a link by clicking this little link button, and then you're going to paste your Google Sheets link there, and you're going to choose new window so that when I click on it, it opens in a new window. So make sure you do that, and then you're just going to hit OK. And that's it, because I'll see your link in there. And even if it says you have to upload a file, because if you're doing it in Google Sheets instead of Excel, or maybe I'll even set up a separate assignment so that you could do either or, you can still do that. So even if it closes or whatever, just let me know. But I'll see that you have a comment in there. So you just have to save that, and I'll see your comment, and then I could click on your Google Sheets file, open it up and check it out and see how you did. And if you have any questions, you know, you can always share that with me so I can look at it and see if you had any, you know, if you don't know how to do something. But that's Ex01 using Google Sheets. So if you don't have access to Microsoft Excel, either on a Mac or Windows computer, you could try it in Google Docs and just do it right through the web. All you have to do is download it first and then just upload it to Google Sheets or to your Google Drive so you could do it there. So that's Ex01 using Google Sheets for csc102.